Check. Hello and welcome to Rayboy Field. Sorry for the late start here, but we pick up in the top of the first with 2 runners on and no outs. The infield halfway for the Buccaneers. Emmanuel Mercedes on the mound. And we welcome you to Rayboy Field for Little League Night. The Buccaneers 0-2 this week so far with losses to Columbus and to St. Brendan as Coral Reef gets their first run of the ball game with a pass ball there. And they'll get the scoring started. 1-0 Reef in the top of the first inning. Bad start so far for Emmanuel Mercedes. Just cannot find the strike zone. Let's go through the defensive adjustments today for the Buccaneers. In left field, number 4, Gio Vera. In center, number 1, John Oliveras. And in right, number 15, Connor Rodriguez. In the infield, at shortstop, number 26, Yodi Martinez. At third base, number 39, Alex Regea. At second base, number 5, Yux Nelgato. And at first base, number 44, Douglas Horta. Behind the plate for the Buccaneers, number 55, Isaac Privas. And starting, number 27, Emmanuel Mercedes. And he'll deal to the third batter here as he'll walk him. And a bad start so far. 2 walks and a double to start this game for Mercedes. He's got to find something here. South Day dropping 2 games earlier this week. Mercy ruled by Columbus on Tuesday, and on Thursday yesterday lost 7-4 in a good game to St. Brendan, but a couple things could have gone better their way as Mercedes starts the count here with the strike to the catcher for the Coral Reef Barracudas. Let's go through the Coral Reef Barracudas starting lineup here. Batting first for them, the center fielder number 5, William Vega. Batting second, the shortstop number 2, Kevin Cabrera. Third, the third baseman number 19, Raul Garcia. Emmanuel Mercedes throws a ball there that draws the count to 1-1. Batting fourth for them, the catcher number 7, Yuset Henriquez. Batting fifth is their pitcher number 17, Donna McPenarity. Name. And a stolen base here for the Barracudas in the top of the first. As now they'll have 2 runners back in scoring position and no outs. And this has just been the problem for the Buccaneers this year so far. It's been the pitching, figuring it out. And now Prevost here having a little bit of issue, it looks like, with his earpiece. Here comes the pitch for Mercedes. The count 1-1. Here it comes. Is in there for a called strike 2. Mercedes looking to get his first out of the inning here. Do a little bit of damage control. Keep the Barracudas right where they are at 1. That's all you really want to give up here in the top of the first, if anything. Here comes the 1-2 pitch for Mercedes. It is swung on and missed for strike 3. Back pick the third, and the Buccaneers will get an out here on a strikeout. And now there's 1 out with 2 runners on. And now batting for the Coral Reef Barracudas is their pitcher number 17, Dominic Peritoni. Peritoni will look to bring in 2 more runs here and help himself out before he has to go out there to pitch. Here comes the 0-0 pitch for Mercedes. It is a curveball up for a ball. Now here comes the 1-0 pitch for Mercedes. It is low for ball 2. The count now 2-0. After the foul ball there, Mercedes will look to keep throwing strikes here. Here comes the pitch for Mercedes. It is in there for called strike 2. With the 1-2 count here comes the pitch for Mercedes with 1 out, 2 runners on. Here it comes. It is away for ball 2. And now Mercedes deals the 1-2 pitch. It is in there for a called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Emmanuel Mercedes. Quite the start after giving up the 2 walks in the double. And now with 2 outs here, the Buccaneers will return to their normal defense with the big man, the first baseman, number 42 for the Coral Reef Barracudas, coming up to hit. And here's the first pitch by Mercedes. It is an off-speed pitch in there for a strike. Starts the count quickly ahead 0-1. And that one is cut off and missed for a strike. And a run will score here as it hit the umpire, and no one went for the ball. Score now 2-0, and the umpire is down and hurt, and we'll be right back. And now with an 0-2 count here and a run scored after the wild pitch by Emmanuel Mercedes, he'll look to get out of this inning with only have given up 2 runs here. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It is in there for a called strike 3, and that'll end the inning. 2 runs given up here in the top of the first. The Buccaneers look at the respond when we come back. We return here in the bottom of the first. South Dade down 2-0, and John Oliveris up to bat. Here's the first pitch. It is in the dirt there for ball one. He watches the first one here, and let's go through the South Dade starting lineup tonight. Batting first, John Oliveris. Batting second, Gio Vera. Batting third, Yodi Martinez. Here comes the pitch to Oliveris. It is in there for a called strike. Batting third, Yodi Martinez. Batting fourth, Ednio Diaz. Batting fifth, Alex Regea. Batting fourth, Douglas Horta. Batting seventh, Isaac Privas. Batting eighth, Connor Rodriguez. And batting ninth, Dukes Delgado. There's a swing and a drive there, and that'll be caught by the right fielder over his head. And he had to really track that one down, but he got there, a jumping grab, and that'll bring up Gio Vera. Here comes the first pitch to Gio. It is away for a ball. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. It is swung on and hit straight back. First strike. And that pitch is up for a ball, and now the count will run 2-1. Per Tony Deals, that is up for ball 3. Doesn't throw very hard here, but could be pretty effective. As South Dade tends to roll over a little bit on slow pitching. No one knows that more than Rich Benavides, and Per Tony walks Gio Vera here, and we'll bring up Yodi Martinez. Martinez up to bat with the runner on first base. Gio on first base. Pertoni throws it in there, and that is a ball. Buccaneers looking to recover these 2 runs that they gave up in the top of the first. Got one of the runs on first base. One of the best hitters on the team, as there's a pickoff attempt, and Vera gets back in there safe. South Dade looking to salvage this week, go 1-2. Get back to 500. They're currently 3-4 on the season. And here comes the pitch. Martinez will watch that one away for ball 2. The count now 2-0. Yodi awaits the 2-0 pitch, and he swings and fouls that one off. As Martinez awaits for his sign by Baldo here. We would like to thank the Homestead Rec for coming out tonight for Little League night. It was a successful night so far. Looking to get a little better here in this bottom of the first. Martinez grounds that one to the shortstop. It goes right under his glove for an error. Gio will take the turn, headed towards third. He will get there safe. Martinez will stay put at first base here. And there'll be runners at the corners and one out here in this bottom of the first for the Buccaneers. Neal now digs into the box with a tying run on first base. Looking to do some damage here, get the Buccaneers on the board. He'll watch this first pitch up and away for ball one. The error there was on the shortstop. Number 2, Kevin Cabrera. Tried the backhand that ball, but it just went right under his glove. Here comes the pitch, and Martinez with the delayed steal here. He'll get in there safe, and the Buccaneers will have 2 runners in scoring position. The tying run on second base. And Abniel Diaz, a designated hitter, up to hit. Diaz will await his 2-0 offering from Petroni here. Here it comes, and he swings hard at that one, right through it for strike one. Adniel now waits for the 2-1 pitch. Here comes the 2-1. He'll watch that one low for ball 3. The count now 3-1. With an open base here for the Barracudas, I don't think they would really like a walk, but I don't think a walk would do them any harm with a force at any base. Adniel awaits the 3-1. Here it comes. So watch that one for ball 4, and that's exactly what the Barracudas will do. They will walk the bases loaded here, and that'll bring up Alex Reguea. Now batting for the Buccaneers with the bases loaded. Alex Reguea up to bat against Petroni. They'll look to scratch across their first run here. There is a ball. A fastball ran away there. Reguea will await his 1-0 pitch. He'll show bunt here, and that one runs inside. Oh, that one's a called strike. And now with the 1-1 count, Reguea will await the 1-1 offering with the tying run on second base for the Buccaneers. He'll watch that one in there for strike 2. An off-speed pitch. And now the count 1-2. Reguea looking to battle back a little bit here and get the Buccaneers their first run of the game. Comes the 1-2 pitch from Petroni. He'll foul it off back towards our direction here in the press box. And the count will remain 1-2. Bases loaded here. 1 out. 1-2 count. Reguea up to bat, and the tying run at second base for the Buccaneers in the bottom of the first. Here we go. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It is swung on, and a diving play by the shortstop, and they double him off. A diving play by the second baseman, Jonathan Mendoza. A great play there, and Martinez was on the move with the crack of the bat, and that'll end this bottom of the first. We'll be right back with the top of the second after this. Back here in this top of the second at Rayboy Field. The score still 2-0 after the incredible diving play by Jonathan Mendoza for the Coral Reef Buccaneers. And Emmanuel Mercedes will get us started here in this top of the second. And that pitch is in there for strike one, a fastball. First pitch fastball to Alex Books. Buccaneers will look to work quickly, get out of this top of the second, as that one is cut on and hits the umpire again. He's having a tough day back there so far through one inning. It's been hit twice. And the count 0-2 here. And time is called. The umpire trying to regain his composure here. As now we're back here with an 0-2 count. Mercedes will look to get the first out of the inning. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It is outside for ball one. A great take. So here comes the 1-2 from Emmanuel Mercedes. It is outside for ball two. The count now 2s. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Mercedes. It is in there for a called strike three. And that is 4 strikeouts on the day so far for Mercedes as he'll continue to work. Jacob Wagner coming up to hit for the Barracudas. As Mercedes trying to continue to work quick here. He's came back well after the 2 walks and the double in the top of the first. He struck out 4. As here comes the first pitch of this at bat. That one's low and in for ball one. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. An off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. Damian Gorey earlier this week for the Buccaneers got a hand injury and will be out for a couple of months. That'll shake up the outfield a little bit for the Buccaneers as that off-speed pitch is in there for a called strike too, but the Buccaneers looking to use a mix of outfielders here. Connor Rodriguez and Gio Vera, 2 new outfielders here for the Buccaneers. 2 different outfielders from yesterday's game, as that is a ground ball over to the first base side. Mercedes will pick it up, tag first there, and PFPs. They have the second out of this top of the second. With the second baseman for the Coral Reef Barracudas coming up to hit. A quick 2 outs here, and Mercedes will look to get out of this top of the second as quick as possible. Time is called in the box before the second baseman, Jonathan Mendoza, even steps into the box, and now he will await the first pitch of this at-bat. That ball's in the dirt there. Ball one. Mercedes looks to continue to work with 2 outs here in the top of the second. Here comes the 1-0 pitch for Mercedes. It is up for ball two. The umpire moving out of the way a little bit. I don't think he really trusts Prevost behind the plate. Doesn't look like it to me, at least. Comes the 2-0 pitch to Mendoza. It is in there for call strike. Count now 2-1. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Mercedes. It is low and away for ball 3 there, and now in danger of walking his third batter of the game. As now the 3-1 pitch from Mercedes is coming in a second here. He waits for a sign from Prevost. He gets it, and here comes the pitch. It is a called strike two, a high strike there for a little kid up to the bat, up to bat for the Barracudas. Here comes the payoff pitch with 2 outs. It is low, and there is ball 4, and the Barracudas have returned to the top of the lineup in this top of the second. The runner on first here, and the leadoff man the leadoff man up to bat for the Coral Reef Barracudas. A pickoff attempt there to first base by Mercedes. Mendoza gets back in there safe. William Vega up to hit. Walk to start out this game in this top of the first. Here comes the pitch. It is low, and that one will get Pi Prevost. Then that'll be a wild pitch, and Mendoza will get the second. And now the Coral Reef Barracudas get a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs, so all it will take is a single to score that runner on second. That is already the third ball to get past Prevost today. So look to do a little bit better behind the plate. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It is watched for ball 2. It's now a 2-0 count here and a runner on second and 2 outs in the top of the second. Here comes the pitch from Emmanuel Mercedes. And it is cut on and missed for strike 1 here. Fastball, he blew it right by him. Vega all the way in the back of the box here. As he'll await his 2-1 pitch. Here it comes. It is in the dirt for ball 3. Now the count 3-1, and Mercedes has found themselves in a little bit of trouble in this top of the second after getting 2 quick outs. Is on an advantage count for Vega. The count 3-1, and he'll await the 3-1 pitch from Mercedes. Mercedes gets this sign. Here comes the delivery. It is cut on. A ground ball to Regea. He'll charge it, pick it up, throw over to first, and that'll end this top of the second. A good second inning for Mercedes here as the Buccaneers will look to battle and get those 2 runs back when we come back here at Rayboy Field. Back here in this bottom of the second, as the first pitch to Douglas Horta is in there for a called strike. Due up for the Buccaneers this inning is Horta, Prevost, and Rodriguez, as they'll look to battle and score these 2 runs back. The score currently 2-0. Barracudas 0, South Dade. And that one is swung on and hit a mile high towards the third baseman. And he's tracking it, and it is dropped into the Bermuda Triangle for strike 2. And now the count 0-2. Just overran there by the shortstop. No real communication from the Barracudas on that ball. Gives Horta second life. He was definitely hunting for a home run there. He just got under that one a little bit, and he'll look to straighten it out a little bit more. He had a home run earlier this week against St. Brendan. Excuse me, that was just yesterday. As here comes the pitch, he'll watch strike 3 called. And a good start for the pitcher for the Barracudas so far. Here comes a switch hitting catcher, Isaac Prevost. Up to bat with 1 out here in this bottom of the second. He'll swing and foul that one off towards the South Dade dugout for strike 1. And Puritoni dealing so far. And that one is away for a ball. Here comes the pitch to Prevost. It is in there for a called strike. And that one is swung on and hit towards the right fielder, as he'll get there for out number 2 here in this bottom of the second. Rich Benavides playing his outfielders perfectly so far. And now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, Puritoni working so far, as Rodriguez will look to extend this inning for the Buccaneers, as he'll swing and hit a line drive towards the center fielder. It is caught. A jumping catch by the center fielder for the Barracudas, and that is 3 up, 3 down for Puritoni. Good work so far, as the Buccaneers will look to get their own 1-2-3 inning when we come back. We're back here at Rayboy Field in the top of the third. The score to this ball game: Coral Reef 2, South Dade 0. Kevin Cabrera steps into the box against Emmanuel Mercedes. He'll watch that one for strike one. It's the count now, 0-1. Mercedes looks to continue to do good work out here after his 0 in the last inning, and here comes the 0-1 pitch. It is cut on and missed for strike two. A good curveball there. The count now, 0-2. Mercedes already with 4 strikeouts today. Looking for his 5th right here. Comes the 0-2 pitch. It is outside for ball one. Cabrera watches that one. That one got away from Mercedes a little bit. Took the glove off of Prevost. It's the count now, 1-2. Comes the 1-2 offering for Mercedes. It is cut on and missed. Sword-like swing there from the Barracudas, and Mercedes has his 5th strikeout of the game. A good start after the 2-run top of the first for Mercedes. They still look to rebound now, and the third baseman, Raul Garcia, up to bat for the Coral Reef Barracudas. That pitch is cut on and missed for strike one. A check swing there and given to him by the umpire. The count now 0-1. Mercedes gets a sign from Prevost. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It is cut on, slapped the other way. Rodriguez, a diving catch, and a great play by Connor Rodriguez in right field. Hit the opposite direction. Hit to the opposite field. And 2 quick outs in this top of the third for the South Dade Buccaneers. Now the catcher up to hit for Coral Reef. Mercedes with 2 quick outs, looking to get the third one quickly here, as that one is swung on, hit towards Gio Vera in left field. Gio under it, and that'll end this top of the third. Quick work by Emmanuel Mercedes, and the South Dade Buccaneers will look to get those 2 runs back when we come back. Back here in the bottom of the third at Rayboy Field. The score 2-0 still. Buccaneers up to bat. 9-1-2 due up for the Buccaneers this inning. Yuki Nagato leading it off. And swung and missed at the first pitch for strike one, and he swings and misses at the second pitch for strike two. The count quickly 0-2 in the bottom of the third with no outs. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It is fouled towards the South Dade dugout, and the count will remain 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It is hit towards right field. In comes the right fielder and put away there for out number one in this bottom of the third. Jono Uveris now up to bat with a line drive out. In right field for the Coral Reef Buccaneers is Alex Boyks, and they have him playing deep on every single hitter here to take away the opposite field hitting that the Buccaneers try to do so much, and it has proven effective so far in this ball game as that one's in there for a strike. Coach Benavides for the Coral Reef Buccaneers knows what he's doing with the outfield, and he's done a good job so far as that one is away for ball one. With one out here and the top of the order up for the Buccaneers as that one sails over the head of the catcher, almost over the head of the catcher, and now the count's 2-1. And I don't think there's anyone else you want in a situation to start off a little rally right here than Jonell. As here comes the 2-1 pitch. He watches that one. Excuse me, that was the 3-1 pitch, and that is ball four. And the Buccaneers will have a runner on with one out in the bottom of the third. And now Gio Vera of the Buccaneers up to hit, the senior. Batting second for the second game in a row. And third baseman for the Barracudas goes as if there was a bunt there, and that one gets by the pitcher. There is one out and a runner on for the Buccaneers, and the tying run up to hit for South Dade, which is the catcher, Gio Vera. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's away. Uveris is caught up in a little rundown here. That one is thrown over the head of the first baseman by the catcher. The catcher, number 7, Yuxet Henriquez, and Uveris will get all the way to third after the throwing error by the catcher, and the count is 2-0 now, and the Buccaneers have a runner on third base after the horrendous error by the third baseman. By the catcher. That is just a killer for the Coral Reef Barracudas as South Dade has a runner right where they want them with one out here, and the man that you want up to hit is Gio. Here comes the pitch, and that is a bunt attempt. It'll stay foul, and now the count is 2-1. Right idea by the Buccaneers there to get one run across. He had to put that bat by his helmet to bunt that ball, but nonetheless, he got the bunt down, but it went foul. The count is 2-1 after the failed bunt attempt here, and a runner on third base for the Buccaneers. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Gio shows bunt again. That one is bunted straight towards the pitcher. The attempt to get Uveris at the plate is unsuccessful, and a fielder's choice RBI by Gio Vera here as the Buccaneers will get their first run of the game. And now, after the successful bunt by Gio Vera, it'll bring up Yodi Martinez. He'll watch that one for ball one. And the Buccaneers one step closer to tying this ball game up. The score now 2-1. And just part of the order you want up to hit. Gio bouncing a little bit on first base, looking like he wants to steal a bag. Gio doesn't really get that many opportunities to run. He is usually the starting catcher for the Buccaneers and usually gets courtesy ran for, but today he is able to run the bases and looks like he's having some fun as he'll take off for second base and Martinez will foul that one off. And that'll go into the stands for a strike. The count 1-1 and Gio still bouncing around on first base. I would think a pickoff attempt by the pitcher right now as Gio will take off for second again. And there's a ground ball through the infield for a base hit. Vera around second. He's headed towards third. Here comes the throw. He'll be in there safe. Martinez on his way to second. And no even look towards second as Martinez will get there for a double. And now there's 2 runs in scoring position here and 1 out for the Buccaneers. And the designated hitter Adniel Diaz up to hit. Adniel Diaz up to hit with 2 runners in scoring position here, second and third for the Buccaneers, and the designated hitter up to hit with 1 out. Tying run on third base, the go-ahead run on second base, and that one is inside for a ball. As Adniel awaits the 1-0 pitch, as he'll square up for a bunt, and he'll miss that bunt, and it'll go straight back for strike 1. Buccaneers trying to tie this game just the way they scored their first run with the bunt. Diaz awaits his sign from Coach Baldo, and he'll step into the box looking to tie this game up. Here comes the pitch for Peritoni. It's a suicide squeeze here as they tag the runner out. And the Buccaneers do tie this game up 2-2. Now with the sacrifice bunt, as actually they're going to call. They're going to say he missed the tag. Coach Greer is going to argue a missed tag here, and the Buccaneers will look for an appeal, maybe, as the umpires are saying he got him on his back, and he is ruled out eventually, and now there is 2 outs here, and 1 runner on for the Buccaneers. Is the score now 2-2 with Alex Regay up to bat. Two now. The game is tied, and Alex Regay up to hit with the runner on third base. He'll swing through that one for a strike. with 2 outs in this bottom of the third, and 2-2 now. Regea swings through that one again, and there's strike 2. Regea will await. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It is up and away there for ball 1, and this South Bay dugout getting loud here as they'll look to try to take the lead here with a good swing by Regea. As he'll wait, and that is a ground ball, first base side, and fielded by the first baseman, Alfredo Hernandez, and that ball is a foul ball, so we will do it again on a 1-2 count. Regea will await the 1-2 pitch from Pertoni. It is a called strike 3, and that'll end the bottom of the third. Buccaneers get 2 back here, and we'll look to continue to work in the top of the 4th when we come back at Rayboy Field. We're back here in the top of the 4th at South Dade. Mercedes looks to keep on working as the pitcher for the Coral Reef Barracudas digs into the box. Dominic Peratoni. So he'll await the first pitch up by Mercedes here. Here it comes. It is cut on and missed for strike 1. What you want there, good off-speed pitch to start. And what you've been expecting all day for Coral Reef and what they have been doing all day is swinging right through the first pitch, expecting a fastball. Mercedes will now deal 0-1 as that one is in the dirt for ball 1. The count now is 1-1. Here comes a 1-1 pitch by Mercedes. It is in there for strike 2. He has 5 strikeouts today. He's looking for his 6th strikeout. So here comes the 1-2 pitch by Mercedes. In the dirt there for ball 2. Couldn't be blocked by Prevost there, and Prevost having a little bit of a tough day behind the plate, but I think he'll be all right. The count 2-2 here. Per Tony up to bat. It's the pitcher against the pitcher. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and a ground ball towards Gato. Gato picks it up. Throws it over to Horta for out number 1 here in this top of the 4th. It's now the first baseman. Alfredo Hernandez digs into the box. Made a good sliding grab at first base, but the ball was foul. Big boy here. Gonna do something against Mercedes. Here comes the pitch. That one's cut on and missed for a strike. Here comes the 0-1 pitch by Mercedes. He'll watch that one for ball 1. The count now 1-1 with 1 out in the top of the 4th. The 1-1 pitch is cut on and missed for strike 2, and now the count 1-2 with 1 out. And here comes the 1-2 pitch by Mercedes. Fouled straight back. The count will remain 1-2 with 1 out. On deck for the Barracudas, the right fielder, Alex Boyks, who's had a successful day in the outfield so far, catching everything that's been hit to him. So here comes the pitch. Fouled off again. The count remains 1-2. We'll do it again. Hernandez awaits the 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. It is fouled off, and down goes Prevost. Hit in the face, and he'll get up there. A little bit of a scare there. Again. He's having a tough day behind the plate. He seems okay here, and the count will remain 1-2. And he'll get down and do some push-ups. Showing off there with the clapping push-up. Maybe that'll help him block it a little bit better. But anyway, the count will remain 1-2, and we'll do the 1-2 pitch again after 3 foul balls by Hernandez. Mercedes will await the sign from Prevost. He'll get it, and here comes the 1-2 offering. Cut on and missed. Throw over to first base, and that'll be the 6th strikeout of the game. 5th strikeout of the game so far for Emmanuel Mercedes. As now the right fielder, Alex Boyks, will be up to hit. Buccaneers trying to work quickly as Prevost's glove fell off on that one. I don't know if there was a little bit of catcher's interference there, not picked up by the umpire. But nonetheless, it is a strikeout. And with 2 outs in the top of the 4th, we will move on. That one's in the dirt for ball 1. As now Boyks will await the 1-0 offering for Mercedes. As he'll golf swing at that one for a strike. For playing golf, that's a good drive right there. It's the count even at 1 now, as here comes the pitch for Mercedes and another golf swing there for strike 2. And again, I think that one would have been a better drive than the last one. Here comes the 1-2 pitch with 2 outs in this top of the 4th, and it is in the dirt there for ball 2. The count even at 2-2 with 2 outs. Mercedes looking for another strikeout and to get out of this 4th inning quickly here. He gets his sign quickly from Prevost, and here comes the 2-2 pitch by Mercedes. Swung on and missed for a strikeout there, and we'll head to the bottom of the fourth after a 1-2-3. Top of the fourth by Mercedes when we come back. We're back here in the bottom of the fourth as Peratoni starts off this bottom of the fourth with the strike, and Douglas Horta up to bat for the Buccaneers. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to him, and that one's in the dirt for a ball. Might be looking to untie this ball game with one swing of the bat here. As I mentioned earlier in this broadcast, he had a home run yesterday against St. Brendan to about left center at St. Brendan. So he'll await the pitch here. As that one will be a slow roller towards Peratoni. He'll pick it up, throw it over to first there, and that'll be the first out of the inning. As now Isaac Prevost steps into the box against Peratoni. He'll show bunt here. He'll try to drop the bunt down, and it'll roll foul for strike one. The count now 0-1. So Prevost now will await the 0-1 pitch by Peratoni. That one's inside there for a ball. Omar trying to tell his team here that they need base runner any means necessary here. So the hit by pitch wouldn't do anything bad for the Buccaneers. So here comes the 1-1 to Prevost. That one's cut on and missed. A good off-speed pitch there by Peratoni, and now the count now runs 1-2 with one out in this bottom of the fourth. Tied up at 2-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Up for ball two. The count now 2-2. Time is called in the box by Prevost. He'll step in with a 2-2 count and one out. Here comes the pitch by Peratoni. It hits Prevost in the hand there, and the Buccaneers will have a base runner in this bottom of the fourth. And then with Prevost on first, Butler, the base runner here, the courtesy runner for the catcher. Connor Rodriguez up to bat, hit a hard line drive towards the right fielder that was caught earlier in this game, and he'll look to do some damage with the very speedy Jonathan Butler on first. You already know he's looking to take second here. A pitch out here comes to throw the second, and he's dead to right to second base. A great throw by the catcher there. And now there's 2 outs here in this bottom of the fourth. It's like Benavides might have known there was a steal attempt there, and a pitch out throws him out. And now there is 2 outs so far. The count 1-0 to Rodriguez. Per Tony working here. That one's in there for a called strike. The count now 1-1 to Rodriguez as he'll look to extend this inning. Comes the pitch to Connor. Connor will foul that one towards the greenhouses, and the count now 1-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Comes the 1-2 pitch to Rodriguez. Tony looking to get out of this bottom of the fourth. That one's fouled off. Just barely got bat on the ball there. That could have ended the inning. Yukes Delgado on deck for the Buccaneers. Just want to extend the inning here. Anything can happen when you get base runners on. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Rodriguez. That is a ground ball towards the third baseman. Backhanded. Threw over to first. Then 1-2-3. Bottom of the fourth for Tony, and we'll be right back with the top of the fifth in a minute. We're back here at Rayboy Field in this top of the fifth. Is it 8-9-1 for the Barracudas up to bat as that one's cut on and missed quickly for a first strike. As that one is up for ball one. This is now a little stoppage of play by the umpire here. As the count 1-1, Mercedes deals, and that one is low for ball two. That one's cut on a miss there. The count now 2-2. Time is called in the box and by Wagner here. So now here comes the 2-2 pitch. It is a ground ball here towards Gatto at second base. We'll pick it up though to Horta at first, and it is dropped. And there is an error by the Buccaneers. And the Barracudas will have the leadoff man on here in this top of the fifth. It's now the ninth batter for the Barracudas up to hit. The second baseman, Jonathan Mendoza. As there is no outs and a runner on first base. So here comes the pitch. It is in the dirt there for ball one. That one was in the dirt for ball one there. So here comes the 1-0 pitch by Mercedes. That one is a line drive towards Rodriguez. He'll watch that one drop there. That is a single. And there is two runners on here to start this top of the fifth with no outs. And the top of the order due up for the Barracudas. Omar Baldo will go talk to his pitcher. We're back here in the top of the fifth after the mound visit by Omar Baldo. There's 2 runners on and no outs in this top of the fifth. Now here comes the pitch from Mercedes to start this at bat. That one is in the dirt there for ball 1. One 0 count here, and that one's in the dirt there for ball 2. Now the count is 2-0 with no outs. The score 2-2 and 2 runners on for the Barracudas in this top of the fifth. So now here comes the 2-0 pitch by Mercedes. He'll get his sign. He'll pick off over to second. Wagner gets back in there safe. The count 2-0 here. Here comes the 2-0 pitch in the dirt there for ball 3. And now the count 3-0. In danger of walking. Vega here. And the bases will be loaded in the event of a walk. Here comes the 3-0 in there for a called strike. Good rebound there, and he just needs to do that a couple more times. Needs to do it one more time to get himself back into this count here. As here comes the 3-1 pitch. It is fouled off towards the greenhouses, and the count is full now. Battled all the way back from 3-0 was Mercedes, and now he has him 3-2. Got to secure one here with a ground ball. Now here comes the payoff pitch by Mercedes. He gets a sign from Prevost. He comes set. Here it comes. Up for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. With Kevin Cabrera up to bat, Baldo will go get his starting pitcher, and that'll end the day for Mercedes. We'll be right back after this. Gianmarco Valenzuela in the pitch for the Buccaneers with the bases loaded and no outs here in the top of the fifth. Tato will deal his first pitch, and it is in there for a called strike one. A good start so far. Well, one pitch in for Tato. So he'll look to work out of this inning, hoping to do some damage control for the Buccaneers. So here comes the 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed for strike two. The count now 0-2. Comes the 0-2 pitch away there for ball one. The count now 1-2. So here comes the 1-2 pitch by Gianmarco Valenzuela. It is swung on and fouled off. So here comes the 1-2 pitch from Tato. Looking to get his first out. That one's over the head, almost over the head of Prevost, and now the count's 2-2. Buccaneers looking to get that all-important first out. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Tato gets the first out of this inning, and now the Buccaneers are one double play away from getting out of this inning scoreless. It's now the third baseman, Raul Garcia, digs into the box with one out here in this top of the fifth. Here comes the first pitch from Tato. It is a ball. Almost check swung on that, but held himself up there, and there's a ball, and the count is 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch in the dirt there for ball two. Comes the 2-0 offering from Valenzuela here. It is up, popped straight up. Prevost will camp under it. He'll throw his mask, and it is dropped there, and they'll just have to throw to the plate here. Horta will grab it. He'll tag the runner out, and there will be two outs here. Prevost, almost a huge error there, as a double play there for the Buccaneers ended the inning. And we will head to the bottom of the fifth after a wacky double play there. And this will end this top of the fifth, and we'll be right back in a minute. We're back here at Rayboy Field in the bottom of the fifth. 9-1-2 due up for the Buccaneers. Peritoni still on for the Coral Reef Barracudas. The official ruling on that last inning was an infield fly, which was dropped unintentionally by Prevost. Then the runner on third advanced to the plate and was tagged out for a double play. As now after the ball was thrown, that one is in there for a strike now. Now the count is 1-1. Here comes. Oh, that was the 0-2 pitch is in there for strike three, and that is strikeout looking. As now the top of the lineup up for the Buccaneers. It's now the top of the lineup up for the Buccaneers. As that one is swung on and hit towards the right fielder, he'll track in and he'll get that one for out number 2. Everything that has been hit the way of Boyks has been caught, and that'll bring up Gio Vera up to hit with 2 outs. Two quick outs here for Peritoni as he'll continue to work against this South Bay lineup. Is Gio Vera up to hit, and he'll watch that one in there for strike 1. As now Gio will await his 0-1 offering here as he'll watch that one inside for ball 1, and now the count is 1-1. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. It is in there for strike 2. The count now 2-2. So here comes the 1-2 pitch to Vera. That is up there for ball 1. Excuse me, ball 2, and now the count is 2-2. So here comes the 2-2 pitch to Vera. It is in the dirt for ball 3. The count is now full with 2 outs. Gio looking to get on base, extend this inning a little bit, and bring up Yodi Martinez. Here comes the payoff pitch by Peritoni to Vera. It is outside for ball 4, and the Buccaneers will have a runner on with 2 outs here, and the captain coming up to bat, Yodi Martinez. It's now Martinez digs into the box here with 2 outs in this bottom of the 5th and 2 outs, but Gio Vera on first base will take off for second, and it'll be a fake steal there as that one is in the dirt for ball 1. Count 1-0 to Martinez. Vera with a lot of movement at first base. He's bobbing back and forth, and he'll have another fake steal here as that one is in there for a called strike. Here comes the pitch. That is a balk by Peritoni, and Vera will get the bag. The count will remain 1-1. Count remains 1-1. The Buccaneers will take the balk there. Gio will be in scoring position, and one single it'll take here for the Buccaneers to get on the board and take the lead in this bottom of the 5th. Martinez in a 1-1 count with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position for him in this bottom of the 5th. Tied up at 2-2, a big spot for Martinez. Here comes the 1-1 pitch by Peritoni. It is watched for ball 2, and the count now 2-1, an advantage count for Martinez as he'll look to work here and score this run. And stepping off by the pitcher Peritoni there as the count remains 2-1. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It is cut on and missed for strike 2 there. Now the count is 2-2 with 2 outs. The score is 2-2 and a runner at second base. And the Buccaneers look to work. Here comes the 2-2 pitch by Peritoni. It is outside for ball 3. The count is full. A 3-2 count with 2 outs. As that one is popped up there. That one could be in no man's land. That could be trouble for... Oh, that is a fair ball there. It hits the chalk, and the Buccaneers score a run here in this bottom of the 5th. The score now 3-2 after the double by Martinez as that ball hit the foul line and chalk came up to call it fair. And Adniel Diaz is plunked in the back here, and there will be 2 runners on as the Buccaneers have put something together here so far in this. The Buccaneers have put something together so far in this bottom of the 5th. Two runners on here for the Buccaneers as it's starting to fall apart a little bit for Peritoni as Regea now sends a drive into that one deep into right field and tracked down by the right fielder. Boyk says he has done a tremendous job in the outfield. He's locked down today. And the Buccaneers take the lead here in the bottom of the 5th, and we will head to the top of the 6th. The score 3-2 here at Ray Boy Field. We're back here in the top of the 6th at Rayboy Field. Dato looks to continue to work and get the Buccaneers through the 6th inning. They took their first lead of the game here, 3-2. So here comes the first pitch of this top of the 6th. And it is a ground ball towards Yodi at shortstop. He picks it up, throws it over to Horta at first base, and first out of the inning secured in one pitch. And now the pitcher, Dominic Peritoni, up to bat. Stato has been looking really good so far. So he got out of that bases loaded jam earlier in the 5th inning, and he'll look to work quickly here in the 6th inning. Here comes his first pitch to Peritoni. It is in there for a called strike. The count is 0-1 with one out. Here comes the 0-1 pitch by Tato. Cut on a miss by Peritoni for strike 2. The count 0-2. The count now 0-2 here with one out in the top of the 6th. Here comes the 0-2 offering by Tato. It is in the dirt for ball 1. So here comes the 1-2 offering by Tato. It is in the dirt again for ball 2, and now the count is even at 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 offering by Tato. It is fouled straight back by Peritoni, and the count will remain 2-2 with one out. Here comes the 2-2 offering by Gianmarco. It is popped up towards Rodriguez and right. He'll camp under it, and he'll put it away for the second out of this top of the 6th. The first baseman for the Coral Reef Barracudas, Alfredo Hernandez, up to bat. Really big first baseman. Him and Horta kind of have a similar build. Big boys, really tall. Some action in the Coral Reef bullpen. Aiden Perez Rivera up and throwing over there as that one is cut on and taken deep, and that'll be tracked down by Vera, and that'll end this top of the 5th. Gio all excited as he had to reach over his head for that one, and the catcher now playing in the outfield puts that one away, and we'll return here to Rayboy Field in the bottom of the 6th in a minute. We're back here in the bottom of the sixth, and that is a first pitch swung on and missed strike there by Douglas Horta. So the Buccaneers are 3 outs away from putting this one away. They'll just look to add some insurance runs here in the bottom of the sixth. Horta will foul that one off for strike 2, as the count is now 0-2, with Privas on deck and Connor Rodriguez in the hole. Horta will await the 0-2 offering by Peritoni, who has pitched all innings so far, and he'll continue to pitch in this inning as he throws that one into the dirt for a ball. As that one is in there for a called strike 3. Horta doesn't like the call, but Peritoni gets the job done anyway, and Privas coming up to bat. So now Privas digs into the box, and he'll watch that one in there for a called strike. Peritoni's pitched a pretty good game so far, other than a couple key mistakes by the Coral Reef Barracudas. South Bay Buccaneers hold a 3-2 lead over them, as that one is up for ball 1 there, and the count now 1-1. Now Privas will await the 1-1 offering by Peritoni, as that one is away for ball 2. As now here comes the 2-1 offering, as that one runs inside for ball 3. Privas already been hit by a pitch today. Privas already taken one today. Doesn't really want to get hit again, so he moves out of the way of that one. And here comes the 3-1 offering, and as that one's in there for strike 2. He doesn't like the call. It seems like he was watching the whole entire way there. Comes the 2-2 offering by Peritoni. That is a ground ball hit towards the shortstop, fielded, picked up, thrown over the first, and put away for the second out of this inning, as he dropped it on the transfer there, and there's 2 outs. And Connor Rodriguez coming up to bat. So now Connor digs into the box with 2 outs here, and he'll hit a line drive, and that one will be down for a base hit. And Rodriguez will have his first hit of the ball game here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, and that'll bring up Yuxnel Gato, the 9-hole coming up to bat, and they are going to pinch run for Rodriguez. Jonathan Butler will be in the game, and Gato coming up to bat. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, the 9th man in the South Dade order will dig up on the plate. The transfer from Southwest, Yuxnel Gato, looking to do some damage. The really speedy Jonathan Butler at first base has been thrown out once already, and a pickoff attempt by Peritoni, and Butler gets back in there standing. Gato will await the first pitch of his at-bat here. Peritoni looking at the runner on first. And that one is swung and fouled into the stands here for strike 1. outs now. Butler on first base, and that one's fouled off here for strike 2. An 0-2 count here in the bottom of the 6th. Butler on first base. 2 outs. Buccaneers looking to get an insurance run in the bottom of the 6th. Comes the 0-2 pitch from Peritoni. It is up there. Here comes the throw down the second base. Butler will have a stolen base here in the bottom of the 6th. The Buccaneers will have a runner in scoring position. The count 1-2. Count is 1-2. A runner on second base. Gatto will look to bring an insurance run in for the Buccaneers. Here comes the 1-2 offering by Peritoni. It is cut on and popped up straight to the mound. The pitcher on it, and he overruns it. Pitcher's never really supposed to field a pop-up there, and he fields that one, and he drops it. And an error by the Coral Reef Barracudas, and runners will be on the corners for the Buccaneers with the leadoff man, Jono Uveris, up to bat. Now, Uveris digs in with runners at the corners. Southgate very aggressive on the base paths. They've proven that before. They probably will send Gatto to steal second here. Could be on this first pitch, and he will take off on this first pitch. And a throw down to second base. A cut off by the second baseman. Butler in there, and they got him at the plate. The score stays 3-2. A double steal there by the Buccaneers. It was cut off by the second baseman, Jonathan Mendoza. Mendoza threw to the plate. Butler was out at the plate. And we will head to the top of the 7th. 3 outs to go to put this game away for the Buccaneers. We're back here in the top of the 7th. Buccaneers need 3 outs to put this game away. Tato will remain in the game. Defensive changes for the Buccaneers. Regea will go to second, and Diaz will now be at third. So here comes Tato, and his first pitch of the at-bat is in there for a called strike. A good start to this top of the 7th for Tato. Just needs 3 outs to put this game away. Here comes the 0-1 offering from Valenzuela. It is in there for strike 2. Cole Reef window shopping right now, watching those first 2 strikes there. Those are 2 important pitches. And now an 0-2 count as Valenzuela will look for a strikeout here. And that one's cut on and missed for strike 3, and a good start to this top of the 7th for the Buccaneers, as that'll bring up the left fielder, number 1, Jacob Wagner. 7-8-9 was due up for the Barracudas in this top of the 7th. Now it's 8-9 after 1 out. Wagner up to bat right now. Mendoza on deck. Valenzuela will look to close this game out. Already has 1 out so far with the strikeout. So here comes the pitch in the dirt there for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Tato. It is a ground ball, first base side. Horta picks it up, steps on the bag, and there are 2 outs, and the Barracudas down to their last out. And now the 9th batter for the Barracudas, the second baseman, Jonathan Mendoza, up to bat. Buccaneers just need 1 more out to close this game out. Here comes Tato and an 0-0 count. Here comes his first pitch. It is in there for a called strike. 2 strikes away. Here comes the 0-1 pitch in there for strike 2. Window shopping here for the Barracudas. And an 0-2 count. Valenzuela will look to put it away. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3 there for the Buccaneers, and they'll take this game against the Coral Reef Barracudas 3-2, and they'll improve their record to 4-4, and they'll clean up this week, getting back to 500. We'll see you next week at Ray Boy Field on Thursday when the Buccaneers play South Miami. Thank you, and good night.